Hello everybody and welcome back to the Palermo Party, Part 2, the Reboot. And today is transfer special. We're going to have a look at some of the players I've brought in, and I've been quite busy this window. You know I love a transfer window. And I've got this team, I've pushed them up and I think that we'll battle. I think we've got a team here that can do very well in this division. So let's take a look at it now. Starting with the players who were released. Ferdinando Sforni left and retired. Never really played for me. Just one that I didn't have plans for, and then he retired anyway. Roberto Floriano, a player that come off the bench quite a lot for me, was a backup player. Didn't think quite cut it in this league. So at 33 years of old, we decided to let him go and try and upgrade in the transfer market. Giovanni Ricciardo is probably the one that I thought about the most, really. 12 goals and an assist in 24 appearances. He was a very good player for us until kind of being pushed out the squad by Alberto Cristiano in the latter half of the season last season. Again, just at 33 years old, I didn't quite think he could do the jump up, and I thought there were better players that we could get in, and I think we have as well. So that was probably the hardest one for me, but Ricciardo does leave. Luca Ficarossa, similar to Floriano, was more of a backup player. Did well when he played, but I thought at this level he wasn't quite there. At 29, he was one of those that I did think about, but it wasn't at the level I didn't think he could step up. So again, we went for better options there. And finally, it was Gianmarco Corsino. Just didn't play. Again, not at the level really we've got. Never really played for us. 2 appearances. So again, don't really use right wingers either. Wasn't anywhere near my midfielders. So whilst his attributes were okay, I think again I've upgraded and went for better options. Swan Murray was also taken. He was taken on a pre-contract but technically released. I decided not to renew his contract. A good player again, more of a backup for us last season, and once again didn't think he could make the step up. He is, I think, at a Serie C level, so we'll see. I just wasn't convinced, and at 31 again, I thought I could get better players in. We also had Alessandro Marinucci go. This one was gutting for me. He was a 90k youth intake player. Could be a very good player. I couldn't tie him down. I didn't want to stay. I did tie the rest down. But yeah, Marinucci went to Bologna under 18s, and I'm gutted about that. That's all of the outs though. Not too many in the grand scheme of things. I've really kept the core of this squad. Let's go to our ins now and have a look at them. First one in is Abubakar Mohammed, a central midfielder on loan from Lazio. He can play defensively if we need to switch to that as well. Attributes wise, his first touch is very good and he can shoot from quite far. His passing is something to work on, but his mentals are very good. His decision making as well, and his anticipation and off the ball. If we can work on his composure, then I think he'll be a good midfield option for us. Being kind of about really never kind of coming to Italy, so it's a bit of a risk, but I think he's a player that will be able to step up in this level, and he's also one that could reach Serie B level. With his contract kind of running out around this time, he might be one that we look to in the future, but we'll see how he does first. The next one is San Sella. Very good player. On loan from Roma, he's a striker, a poacher, pressing forward, target man. He can play either of them. Lots of options for us there. His finishing is very good. First touch is good. Heading is very good. He can shoot from far. His technique is good. His mentals at this division are very, very good, and he's also physicals as well. He's quite a well-rounded player for this division. He was at loan in the Serie B last year, where he scored 4 goals in 33 appearances. So he would have wanted better, but I think slightly level down. He's a very good signing for us. Apparently currently operating at the Serie B level, so he's a big player for us, and I'm hoping that he can score quite a few goals as well. You'll recognise this man, Lorenzo Luca. Got him back on loan for another season. He spent the season with us last year, scoring 23 goals in 34 appearances, also getting 5 assists. A very good player for us, as you can see. His finishing, first touch, heading at this division is very good. His mentals are very good. His determination as well is high, and his jumping reach, so really good as a target man. He's everything I kind of want, really. Very good at that, and I'm hoping he can go from strength to strength, really. We've got him in on loan with the aim that, again, if we can just try and, he's interested in joining our club. When does his contract expire? So a couple of years. So maybe one in the future. We'll see. Very good player for us. He's got potential as well, but he can do it at this division. So Lorenzo Luca, I think, next to Sella, is a very, very good option. Next player also on loan from Fiorentina is Rafik Sekhinini. Is that right? Might call him Zek. 22 years old. He's a winger who can play inverted winger, inside forward, or just a winger. Very quick. His stamina is something that we'll have to have a look at. I think 11's okay, but if you just look at his ability to cross the ball and dribble, his first touch, he could shoot from far. He'll be a threat for us this season. On that left-hand side, he's from Fiorentina. They highly rate him there. He had a season in the Eredivisie with 20, where he got 2 assists and a goal. So probably would have wanted to do better. I think at this level, a bit of a step down. He is certainly one that we will look to rely on. Apparently, he's a good player for most Serie B sides. As I said, his pace and ability to cross the ball and shoot, I'm hoping will just make him a world apart in this division and be a very big player for us. On that left wing as well, we've also got the option of Musa Juawa. I think that's right. On loan from Bologna. Very, very good player as well. Crossing is something to be desired, but dribbling at 13 and his first touch at 12, 16 finishing, he is going to be a player for us. Might not even necessarily have to play him, on the wing. I feel like he could do the midfield. He's also apparently a striker as well, so lots of versatility for him there. Spent the season with Ternana in the Serie C last year, getting 8 goals and 3 assists, so I'd be happy with that. Gives me other options on the left. Doesn't mean that, I'm relying on one player like Sekhinini or even Lucera, because he can play on the right as well if needed. Doesn't prefer it as much, but again gives me lots of options up front. I think he'll be a very good attacking player for us, and one again in a couple of years his contract does expire, so it might be one we'll be keeping an eye on. As you would have known, we did get Sinise in for another season. Valuable backup option at the minute, but a player that can get better and can improve. And I think it has a good season last season, stepped up, got 2 goals as well, a 7.45 average rating. Sinise is a good player for us. We're well into the free transfers now, and the next one is goalkeeper Andrea Dini, and I'm very happy with this signing here. 24 years old. You just have to look at his goalkeeping attributes. His communication is 12, his command of area is 13, aerial is 12. Handing 14, his kicking is 16, reflex is 14, throwing 12. He is just at this division a complete goalkeeper. Concentration's good as well, anticipation's good, and he's agile. A real big player for us. He spent a couple of seasons in the Serie C. Had a good season last year. I'm hoping that he can, be a big player for us. This is maybe not next season, but when you're talking about coming into the league as promoted side and wanting the goals to get out of it as soon as possible, you want players like this who know the league and will be solid, and I think he will be. Next is Julian Fernandez, centre back, the Holy Trinity, heading, marking, tackling, 14, 13, 13. Excellent player. That's all you ask for, really. The rest are bonuses. He's not too bad at free kick, but his first touch is good as well. He can cross the ball if needed, passing. I think he'll be a big player for us. Spent kind of a season in the Serie D last year, but he's been around. He's a player that, again, we think he's a good player for this side. He's got that Holy Trinity. His mentals are good. Physically, he's good as well. He's a strong player. I think he'll be a good defender to have. He'll also be a good option to score corners from as well. So I think it's a risk. He is 31 years old, but I think for experience and that play to lead us a little bit, I think Julian Fernandez is the man to bring in. So I'm excited to see how he does, really. The next one is Nicolo Franco Fonte. He is a central midfielder who I think will be very good. Currently valued as a Serie C player. Only drawback being probably a bit one-footed, but in the middle of the park. I think a player that, could improve a lot in the future. I think this was one brought in by the team. Well, negotiated by the team. One for the future. His dribbling's good. His first touch is very good. He could shoot from far. He could pass as well. It won't be my immediate plans, but he might be one to look at in the future. From Zebra or Juventus to everyone else, a very good player that I think will push on and be a starting player for us really. Andrea Peverelli is the next man, right back, 27 years old, a player that I think is a valuable backup option to us. Icardi again will start. He's a player that I think he could improve. 27 years old, he's just someone that if we need him, he's there. He can also play wing back if needed. He's just a standard backup, nothing flashy. Quite happy with this one. Spent the season last season in which is the division under the Serie D. So I think as a backup you can't ask for much better. I might be looking for an extra, but we'll see. We will rely heavily on Icardi this season. So those are our transfers, and this is the team basically as I think we will probably start the season. Dini in goal, Covello at left back, Icardi at right back. Lanzini will continue from last year. Had a very good season for us. Getting 5 goals as well. Fernandez next to him. Mohamed will come in at midfield as a more attacking centre mid, with Martinelli just sitting back, being that deep lying playmaker, hoping to get the balls out to Sekini, to Lucera. He will kind of sit back a little bit. I've had him on a defend just to try and, help with the attacks a bit more. Sekini will start, or Sekin. Right. We're just going to change it to Zeke. That'll do. Zeke at left mid, Lucera at the right mid, continuing his fine form from last season, and then Luca and Zella will start up front. And I think Zella will start up front, and that will basically be our team to start with. I think this team I've assembled, there's a lot of different things I can do with it. I can I can bring players in to the middle if I wanted to. I could put extra players up front. You can bring a defensive player. You can drop players back. There's lots of options with it. So I think it's a team that, will do well. Our season preview has jumped quite a bit really. When I started, before I made all my transfers, I was around 6th, 7th predicted. We're now predicted to finish top again, which of course would be a great achievement. We know we're in a whole new league, and we know it's a lot different now. Again, it's a league I've never played in, so it'll be interesting to see how we do. I've seen kind of other players. I saw a blog, I can't remember whose blog it was. I will remember so I can shout them out in the next one, where they went up to the Serie C straight away, but then dropped down from the Serie B back to the Serie C because they hadn't built. And that's why I've tried to bring younger players in. I've got a few loan players, so it's trying to balance it. That's why a lot of the loan players I've got in with the eye of trying to get them in the future so we can have a team that's built for the Serie B if needed. So we'll see how it goes. As I said, if we can get top, I'll be very surprised. It'll be a lot more competitive division. We've also got our fierce rivals, Catania, in this division as well. And they look like a solid team. This is a big experimentation season for me this season. Got a lot of ideas. I'm doing a lot of ideas about how we can, get the best out of this team. And I think I can do it. It's a young team. Squad average age I've just noticed is 24. So we'll see. We'll see. Of course, our hot prospect apparently is a guy called Agostino Tadero. Oh yes, he's one of the intakes. We had the youth intake that said a golden generation. I wasn't convinced, but this guy looks very good. I did manage to tie him down as well. So even now, I think I could put him in if needed to be happy. So I think it's quite a positive transfer window. We're going to the new season, very positive. Next episode will be our first games of the season. So so we've got the Serie C Cup Group K games first. So it's grouping this Serie C Cup. So what we'll do is I'll bring you those as bonus episodes I'll do them together, and then we'll also have the game against our Serie C start afterwards against Arzakina. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is going to be even more difficult, but we'll see. There's starting to see some teams already I recognise here, like Barry in there as well, Catanzaro, a few teams in there. So, interesting start. This brings an end to this episode of Introductory. It's the reboot. We've got out of the Serie D now. We're into professional football and we're pushing on. Let me know what you thought of this and give me your predictions down below. Where do you think we'll finish? It's very open. We'll see how we do then, shall we? So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, then please press that subscribe button. I have another save running alongside called the Chairboy Journey. They run every other day. Go check that out if you'd like. Be very much appreciated. If you want to follow me on Twitter as well, I'm at HughJ24. You'll get all of the updates for both of my saves. I'm also now on Twitch as well, at Hugh24. I stream. I'm going to aim for daily, but Thursdays definitely. So have a look at my Twitter. I'll announce all of my streaming details and when I'm going live on there. So feel free to go and follow me on there. I've been Hugh24, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thank you.